dismissed every accomplishment I've made. You've talked about my father. Well, you call me an entitled millennial, I call you a carny succubus, because the dirty secret about you, the dirty secret is you need this generation more than it needs you.
What up, y'all? It's KMB, the Sexy Ninja, in the place to be for a Paper Saber universe, and this is the New World Podcast, brother. We're talking about Monday Night Raw, September 1st, 2025. We're still in Paris, France. Cole Wade on commentary. And after an awesome Clash in Paris, the PLE, the final one on Peacock. Woo, baby. Woo, baby, what a ride it was. And this was a really fun Monday Night Raw here. I'm looking at my notes. Put it right there. We start the show off with Punk. He's waiting. He says, it's on site when I see him. He is waiting for Seth. And Adam's like, well, you know, you can't be here all night. He goes, you're damn right I'm going to be. I'm going to find this fool, because after everything that went down and his wife hitting me in the balls, you know, it's on site, and Punk's going to stay there until Seth Rollins shows up. We started off with Jey Uso. You know, we got some yeets, and they asked him to run it back, and he's like, nah, Uso, nah. He goes, I'm just not in the mood to run it back because of the fact that, you know, he is not the champion right now. He did not win the championship. You know, he says, he's going to do everything in his power to try to get back to that. You know, then LA Knight comes out because, Jay first thing he goes, I don't mess with it. Like, I will mess you up if you mess with my family. So he calls out the Bronze. LA Knight comes out, big pop. This crowd's still crazy, man. After 2 nights, after all this time being there, they're still losing their minds. LA Knight tells Jey Uso, like, hey, man, this is your fault. We could have taken out Seth. We could have laid his ass right there on that table, but you decided, no, I'm going to change things. Oh, over here, we could have done this, could have done that, but no, it was you. You're the one that changed everything. And Jay's like, well, you know, if you're going to talk, you better talk to me. LA's like, all right. And it gets some tension. Then here comes the Bronze. You know, the tribal thief and the dog. Braun Breaker. And this was long-winded, and they're still a little awkward on the mic. But basically, always like, all right, you know what? I feel feisty. You should feel feisty. Me and you against those two. Jay's like, yeet. And then freaking, what's his name? Bronson Reed goes, are you all yeet? Or no, or just skeet? Or I don't know. He says something silly, and I was like, man, this is why you need Paul Heyman. That Paul can talk for these guys. And Paul's out. Roman's out. So a lot of stuff here going on. Io and the Kabuki Warriors are backstage. Kabuki Warriors are going to go take on the Judgment Day. Io's like, hey, you know, I know things are intense between us because of Rhea. I'm really sorry. You know, I want to make sure that everything's right between us. And Asuka's like, yeah. But you know Asuka's going to turn on Io. I just feel it, man. And then she goes, yeah, don't worry. Io's like, do you want me to come help you guys? And she's like, no, we'll do it ourselves. We'll take care of the Judgment Day. And this is our first match of the night, Kabuki Warriors versus the Judgment Day. And holy hell, this was awesome. It was a really fun match. I got to say, Raquel Rodriguez, she is really, really stepping up her game in that ring. I was never really the biggest fan, and ever since she's been with the Judgment Day, I feel like she's getting better and better. Her and Roxanne work really well together. And, of course, the Kabuki Warriors are the Kabuki Warriors. But awesome match, and the Kabuki Warriors did get the win over the Judgment Day. I was very surprised, and I was like, okay, I see you. Then we have Adam. Adam is like, hey, he is saying the World Championship will be decided at WrestlePalooza. Yes, the first PLE on the ESPN streaming. And I was like, Stephanie versus Io. And I was like, oh my gosh. You know, I was contemplating talking to my wife. I was like, oh, you have to cut this subscription, blah, 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 you know, just to make this work so I can watch my WWE. And then they announced this match. I'm like, oh, they're going to take my money regardless, because Stephanie Van Cure versus Io Sky, that is money. And that's only the first match they announced for this show. You know it's going big or going home, especially when it comes to the first ones, like how they did on Monday Night Raw for Netflix. It was a big one. Finn Balor versus Dragon Lee. This match was fun. Finn Balor got the win, shenanigans with JD and everything like that. And during all this, Punk was still waiting. But Adam told Finn, and JD, you guys are banned from ringside. And Finn was like, all right, we'll be there in spirit. There's some tension between him and Dom, because Dom has been talking to El Grande Americano, and Balor's just like, all right, come on, JD, we'll take the night off. And Punk is waiting. He is waiting. But they're banned from ringside during the big Intercontinental Championship match with Dom and AJ Styles. We go right into the New Day with Grayson Waller versus War Raiders and Penta. Fun tag team action here, man. Back and forth. And the New Day have a video coming out later on in the night, which I'm very excited. Can't wait to talk about. But War Raiders and Penta get the win. Kathy's with Rhea and Kabuki Warriors interrupt. And Rhea's like, I don't know what's your problem, but we can have some problems. And Asuka's like, all right. And that poor Kairi Sane's in the middle. She's like, And Adam's backstage. Roxanne and Raquel's like, hey, I just heard that Stephanie and Io are automatically fighting for the championship. This is BS. I'm an NXT Women's Champion, I'm a WWE Tag Team Champion. I'm this. And he's like, and Adam's like, you're not my appointment. Go away. You've lost your match tonight. So maybe once you beat somebody, we can talk. Then Lyra comes in and goes, this is who I want to talk to. Then they get on Lyra about Bayley. Then Lyra's like, what's wrong with Bayley? And I'm like, what is your deal with Bayley? Seriously. You guys are like at each other's throats, and now you're like, Bayley, is she okay? Lyra. But I believe she'll face Roxanne next week in Milwaukee. Yeah, so they got that. Then AJ Styles versus Dirty Dom in a really great Intercontinental Championship match. Dirty Dom is at his best. He is the king of the luchadors. Yes, I said it, and he's going to win that mega championship from Vikingo. I feel it in my bones at that Worlds Collide show. But AJ Styles and Dirty Dom went to battle. But, of course, Dom couldn't do it alone, even with the Judgment Day being barred from ringside. It was El Grande Americano for the help in that loaded mask. So they said he headbutted AJ, but he headbutted his pec. But that's what helped Dirty Dom retain that championship. Thanks to El Grande Americano. Jackie's with LA Knight. He's like got a big night here with his big match for the main event. Then here comes Jey Uso, and they both look at each other trying to get on the same page, man. LA and Jey, because they got the bronze. And Rhea's backstage with Punk. They're talking for a bit, and he's like, hey, yeah, if you hear anything, let me know. And Adam comes up, he's like, hey, so Seth got in the building somehow. He's like, what do you mean? I've been here all night. He goes, I'm going to find his ass. I'm going to find him. Because remember what he told him? It's on site. On site, Adam. The bald-headed tyrant. Now we got the New Day. Awesome funeral setting. The death of the tag team division and everything like that. I really love this video, man. It had the urn. It says, this is the tag team division we're holding here, and we're mourning and everything. I really dig this video package. And, they said the bald-headed tyrant, Mr. Adam Pearce. And then we get a Rusev promo. Came off a badass match. And I was telling my wife, I was like, what's crazy is like these little promo videos he does, these are the same exact things he was doing over at AEW. And I feel like they're working better here, And she's like, you think so? Still not the biggest Rusev fan. I was like, I'm not a massive Rusev fan, but I feel like this character, in how big and grand it is, I think deserves to be here in WWE, Then Punk comes out. He's mad. He's angry because this thing is never going to be over. Come on, Seth, get your ass out here. And then Oh, music hits, and it's Becky Lynch. Oh my goodness, this whole segment was amazing. Oh my gosh, Becky bringing it, Punk bringing it, telling Becky that she married a bum. And Becky's like, my hot husband, you're disgusting, and this and that. And Punk tells, this is one of my favorite lines, I understand the magnitude of me. It's like, they chant my name when I'm not here, when I'm there. And they're chanting AJ Lee, which I should have put the dots together when I did my Clash in Paris review, but they're chanting AJ Lee. AJ! And Becky's like, shut up, she doesn't even work here. It's just, oh. And then Seth comes out. He's like, hey, if you want to speak to me, I'm right up here. Ha, 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 ha. But Becky gets in Punk's way, and Seth runs away, and Punk's like, hey, he hides behind Paul. He hides behind the Braun Bros. Now he hides behind his wife. What the hell? And this was pure cinema. Cinema. And Becky starts slapping him and hitting Punk in the face and doing this, that. And Punk's like really holding back. He's like, you know what? Oh, okay. You're going to regret that. You putting your hands on me, you're going to regret that. I was like, what does that mean? Does that mean AJ's coming back? I don't know. It could be Rhea. Like, it's so many things that could be happening right here with this. And we're going to get a big tag team match, maybe at WrestlePalooza, but I still love the line. I understand the magnitude of me. Man, I'm going to use that at my work. But cinema. Then before we go into our main event, Punk is like, hey, where's he at? He's like, he left. He's gone. They're gone. They went away. And Punk goes, all right, you know what? He's angry. He's frustrated. He's mad. And he's like, hey, Adam, where are we for SmackDown? He goes, you're in Chicago. He goes, okay. Just more of a tease. Grabbing my balls and teasing them. It's like, here's my balls. I'm like, what does that mean? Chicago. Oh, I am so excited for SmackDown now. Yeah. I was like, damn it, Punk. Oh. Jey Uso and LA Knight versus the Braun Bros in one hell of a main event. My match of the night. It was a back and forth battle. Jey has hurt ribs and everything, but the Braun Bros, they won. They beat Jey Uso and LA Knight in one hellacious battle. It is my moment of the night. My match. This is my match of the night. And, of course, the Braun Bros have to is a beatdown after. They did a beatdown, yeet down, skeet down. But here comes Jimmy, and I got excited. I was like, the Usos are back, baby. Jimmy protecting his brother. And I was like, oh, the Braun Bros versus the Usos. Give me more. Where's LA Knight? But yeah, so the beat down to Jay in LA, but Jimmy came out right at the end to try and help. So we're in Milwaukee next week, and then SmackDown's in Chicago this Friday. We got WrestlePalooza. We are building. First match of the card is Stephanie McCure and versus Io Sky. Let's go, Dan! Moment of the night? Oh, it has to be Punk, Becky, and Seth. That whole segment was chef's kiss. 5 out of 5 for Monday Night Raw, September 1st, 2025. Cole and Wade on commentary in Paris. That's it. That's all. Drop those comments below. Hit that like. Hit that subscribe. Share with your grandma. Share with your grandpa. Share with the bum down at Walmart. And remember that the New World Podcast is for life, brother.
Becky Lynch, the Intercontinental Champion, the wife of Seth Rollins,